We've done our women's draw reaction. Now it's time for the men's, and we've got the big hitters. Sinner and Alcaraz as our number 1 and 2 seeds. But which side of the draw is Novak Djokovic on? Stay tuned. We're going to find out.
Here we go. We're back again for another draw reaction video. Go check out the women's one if you've not seen it already, where we broke down the draw and gave some of our early thoughts. And we're going to give some early thoughts again because you asked what side of the draw is Novak Djokovic on. As we're filming right now, I don't actually know. So I'm very fascinated to find out. This is our draw reaction as it's happened. We are filming a little bit later, but we've tried to refrain from looking into it too much because we like to try and work it out on this episode with you guys watching at home. And it's a big tournament. It is very, very pivotal, I feel, this time of the year because it's the second Grand Slam of the year and there's a lot of uncertainties. We don't know what Novak Djokovic is going to turn up. We don't know if Alcaraz is still going to remain this beast on the clay like he has been in Rome. Sinner, how's he going to fare in these conditions? A lot of unknowns. Is it going to be a young player like a Draper or a Mensik? But let's go through it right now.
Yeah, and I think no better day to do the draw of Roland Garros than one man's birthday, and that is right. It is Novak Djokovic's birthday, 22nd of May. Big shout out to Nole, all Nole fam around the world. Come on, this hopefully is a good draw for him, but we're going to find out. Let's have a look at the odds. Should we have a look at the odds at the end, actually? Because it sort of gave it away last time when we did the women's.
What do you mean it gave it away?
Well, who has an easier draw gets a better odds. Do you see what I mean? So now we're going to go straight into the draw, I think. I've put me out of my misery. I've been refraining from looking for too many hours now. Sinner's section first. He's the number 1 seed. He's come straight back from suspension and made a final instantly. And we're going to go through the seeds that are in his section first. So looking through this quarter, Alex de Minaur, he's the first one I can see. Jakub Mensik, another person there. We've got Davidovich Fokina, Andrei Rublev, Hubi Hurkacz. Who else is in here? Arthur Fees and Jack Draper. Jack Draper's in the Sinner quarter. Don't know if that's good for Draper or not. Probably not. But we might get the matchup that we've been waiting for, JG.
Yeah, and that has got to be the big talking point from this quarter. Draper and Sinner could be facing each other very early on. They're in the same quarter. You've got Monfils in here, French, of course, playing at home. The crowd's really going to get behind him. Same with Arthur Fees as well. I feel like he's a bit of a younger Monfils. And Fonseca Hurkacz. That is something I did know before this video. I must admit, I did see that. Someone tweeted it earlier on that is a big matchup. And Hurkacz is going to be fuming, surely. I mean, who wants to face a Fonseca in an open round of a Grand Slam? It's just so unfortunate. This guy is going to be a seed very soon, you'd think. But unfortunately for Hurkacz, on the clay, he's going to be playing the Brazilian magician who can hit the ball so hard. That's going to be a really good match. Muller, I think, is very good and underrated. We know how well he's played this year on the clay courts. Mensik's going to have his work cut out. That is in the balance. And Mensik's got a really tough opening round there, I believe. Rublev, another one we've not mentioned much. Bit up and down. I don't think we're seeing the best version of him. Lehechka is an unseeded. All in all, this is a really tough section.
Yeah.
But one thing I've said many times, when you look at Nadal, when you look at Djokovic, when these guys are playing their best tennis, it doesn't really matter the draw. Jannik Sinner's in that bracket. He's a player where it doesn't matter who he's playing because if he is at his best, he wins. And I still believe that. The only thing what gets interesting is then when he plays Alcaraz, because right now Alcaraz has his number. It's safe to say, beat him every time last year, beat him already this year. And that, for me, is a complete different situation. However, aside from Alcaraz, Sinner is so good that when he plays his tennis, he beats everyone else. So that's why you should never really look into the quarters too much when you've got real top-level stars like a Jannik Sinner.
I think the one thing you've got to look into in quarters when you've potentially got a final against Carlos Alcaraz on the cards is how many miles on the clock will you have by the time you get to the final. And that's where sometimes having a tougher quarter, how many 5-setters, how many 4-setters, how many long matches you're going to have to play to get to the final to even play Alcaraz. And that's not a given that Alcaraz is making the final, but you would assume he's last year's champion. People are probably looking at him right now as Rome champion as well. He's definitely the best clay court player there is on the men's tour. That hands down, that no one's arguing about that. This section, if you just take a look at it for face value, the names that are in it are good. That's what I can see. Like Mensik, like you said, like even the unseeded ones. Muller just beat Zverev. Fonseca, an unknown entity, but so powerful.
Yeah.
And
then French players as well. Herbert, Bonzi, Monfils. You don't want to have all these French players with the crowd getting behind them.
Well,
Davidovich Fekina on the clay. He's
Yep.
up and down. Like, he's a bit of a nightmare, to be fair.
Yo-yo,
but
isn't there?
he can produce big results on a clay court. This is his surface, let's be honest.
Yeah. And Lehechka, another one similar, up and down as well. I'd say Fonseca, like you were saying, Hurkacz's got to be pretty disappointed with that one. I think Fonseca will be equally disappointed playing Hurkacz now that he's actually back to form as well. He's been actually having a great week of tennis so far. He just come off a back of a straight sets win against Taylor Fritz. He's playing currently in Geneva at the moment. Is Hubie Hurkacz? He's just won 3 matches in a row, not dropped a set yet in Geneva. So. He beat Mensik as well in Rome, so he's playing some good tennis right now. Hubie Hurkacz, but that's for me popcorn straight away in round 1. That was the match I'll be focusing on because we're going to lose a good player, unfortunately, straight away.
Yeah, and this quarter, like you say, is a very, very good quarter. Seems tougher than the Sabalenka one, but then probably not as tough as Iga's one.
Yeah, I mean,
not that you can compare with the men's and the women's, but just in general, I think if we're looking at, because I know we just did that one not too long ago.
Yeah,
I would say that Sinner's is tough, but I've seen tougher already on the women's.
Yeah,
second quarter we looked at was crazy.
Looking at these, yeah, I mean he's got potentially Mensik or Draper who are Masters champions this year in there. Draper, looking at his one, could be a potential second round match of Monfils, and then, like you say, that we've got Fonseca or Hurkacz. It's a really tough one for Draper, I think. Like to get through this quarter, I think it's gonna take a mammoth effort. Not sure if he's really up to the task yet on the clay, but I'll be cheering him on all the way.
And who's he playing, Ben? Who's in his quarter?
Who?
Not
Jack
quarter,
Gray?
in his section, in his half.
Well, in Sinner's half, he has Sasha Zverev. So Zverev and in Zverev's is this Zverev's quarter? Yes, it is. Zverev's quarter. He has Medvedev as the seed. Who else have we got? Ugo Humbert, Felix Auger-Aliassime, Francisco Cerundolo, Denis Shapovalov, Novak Djokovic. Here he is. Here's the boy. And Grigor Dimitrov. I didn't know this. So Djokovic is on Sinner's side of the draw. It seems a bit top heavy yet again.
But he avoids Carlos Alcaraz. Important to note, Novak Djokovic avoids Carlos Alcaraz until a final. That is, of course, a great thing for him, considering he keeps getting him constantly. They're close to each other in the draw.
Quarters normally, isn't it?
Djokovic playing a lot better. Played today, looked better. Played the other day as well, and it's encouraging, but against lesser opposition, let's be fair. Fucsovic never stands a chance against Djokovic. It's just a matchup which you know what's going to happen before it happens. The Rinaldi one, a lot better, of course, but still you'd expect Djokovic to be able to do it when he's playing.
Time, didn't he?
But when he's playing, you can see he's instantly better than what he was in, was it Monte Carlo when we saw him?
Yeah.
So we don't know what Djokovic's going to turn up, and I don't want to make too many big predictions about him. Everyone's always waiting to see what I say about Novak Djokovic. I'm just going to wait and see. I'm going to wait and see. Wait for this event he's playing at the moment to be over with. Where was it again? Remind me.
Geneva
in Switzerland. Once that's done, then I'll have some assessments of Roland Garros and Novak Djokovic. For now, I'm going to sit on it. Based off that, he could be okay early doors because some of them players there, I don't think's too much of a worry. He's got some qualifiers, maybe a Shapovalov. Keep going up.
Yeah.
Umber, Wawrinka, Fernley. Fernley's, of course, a really tough opponent. Probably his toughest he played at Wimbledon when he got to the final. Medvedev on the clay. It's not that bad at all. Really, the big challenge would be Zverev.
Yeah. And Zverev playing Lerner TN.
And it's not just any challenge, by the way. Zverev at Roland Garros, one of the best players these last few years. No one can dispute that. He's been fantastic. Nadal said it himself. He struggled against Zverev to get through that match where he played. And I don't know. I think it's dangerous. Zverev also come out. I don't know if you saw. He said he had a dream the other night. He woke up and the dream was that he'd won Roland Garros. So he believes that he's going to win it this year. He's been dreaming about it. And the big matchup would be a Zverev. If Djokovic is playing well, then a Zverev Djokovic would be very, very fun to watch. And I think the winner of that will fancy their chances to take it to Jannik Sinner, potentially, of course.
Yeah, Zverev very up and down in his form, as we know. Other than the Munich tournament win, he had a few wins, obviously, at Rome, but lost to Musetti, lost to Muller in Hamburg, lost to Cerundolo in Madrid, lost to Arthur Fils in Miami, Berrettini, Monte Carlo. Maybe this is where it all turns around for him, or maybe there's someone in there in that section because he's got Cerundolo on his little side of that quarter as well. I think people fancy their chances probably against Zverev, but you have to remember this is a 5-set match. It's not just your standard 3-set.
This is Roland Garros. He's been producing good results, so I think he's good enough to don't worry about the form. Like, forget that. Forget what he's been doing. He's been a bit up and down, struggled with Sinner off the tour, getting close to closing the gap as number 2 and then trying to get closer to number 1. Forget all of that nonsense. He's been number 1 seed for tournaments. This guy, when he turns up, is a serious tennis player. The best player to ever play tennis to not win a Grand Slam, I believe. And if he plays his stuff, everyone's in trouble, including Alcaraz and Sinner on this surface. So we'll see how he gets on.
Yeah, we got up here. I don't think Medvedev's been done any favours. Cam Norrie is a terrible first round draw for anyone, I think, at the moment. He's into the semi-finals in Geneva. That's Djokovic's next opponent in the semi-finals. Yeah, I don't think Medvedev will like that at all. Cam Norrie, a very good clay court player. Someone who's beaten Carlos Alcaraz on the clay.
I think Medvedev will be all right, personally.
I think we could see a potential banana skin early on there, but
let's see. I'm hoping for you to pick it, mate, because it's not going to happen, I don't think. And you mentioned Berrettini a second ago. Quickly on him, he's pulled out of the tournament.
That's a shame. I know that he's had a lot of injury problems recently. Hopefully he comes back soon. His whole career has been plagued by them. Just wish he could have a consistent few years and get to see the best of him, but he sort of comes back flash in the pan and gone again, sort of always working his way back up to the top 10 again, but then never quite really making it. So let's move to the bottom of the draw now. Let's have a little look at Alcaraz. So this is Alcaraz, and in his quarter he has Tommy Paul, he has Mpechi Pedicard, he has Khachanov, Tsitsipas, Popyrin, Casper Ruud, and Ben Shelton. Quite good, I think. I think he'd be happy with that.
Yeah, I think because of it being Alcaraz, it's not so bad. But Ruud for a lot of other players would be a challenge.
Yeah.
Aside from Sinner and Alcaraz, Ruud I think has the ability now to take it to everyone on a clay court. We've seen him always struggle against playing Nadal. Djokovic, he didn't do too bad. I think he beat Djokovic on one occasion. Was it last year? But I feel the Ruud Alcaraz matchup's very straightforward. The Tsitsipas Alcaraz matchup, very straightforward. I think he did lose once, but still straightforward. So I think the matchups for Alcaraz versus the opponents he's got have been quite good. And I would, based off that, not be too concerned. Aside from that Marazan one. Look at that. Marazan's right there. The guy who beat Alcaraz a few years ago now.
Yeah, it was in Madrid, wasn't it? I think. I can't remember off the top of my head. But yeah, it was a very impressive performance. He is the type of player who can pull out a big performance here and there. Will it be at Roland Garros? Will he even get past Nardi? We got Nishikori, who's actually playing Alcaraz in the first round. That's quite an entertaining. Cool. Yeah, it's a good matchup. I don't see Nishikori going through or even coming close.
I think he could take a set, though. Why not? Alcaraz could start slow. We've seen it many times before with these top players. Nishikori loving 5 sets. Could it be a 5-set classic with Nishikori on the clay?
Maybe. Doubt it. I'm looking on the other side too. Obviously, we got Tommy Paul, somebody who's had a really good Rome Masters, got to the semi-finals there, took a set off of Jannik Sinner when he was in that ridiculous form. But Sebastian Offner, I'm going to bring up as well because he's been back in form a little bit again, and he's actually doing pretty well at the moment. I think he's into, is it the semi-finals as well? He beat Khachanov in 3 sets. I think he plays Hubie Hurkacz now in the semi-finals of Geneva, which is brilliant for him.
Offner's a good player on the clay. We know it. But what is he? He's a top 50 player. I don't want to be like dismissive of him, but he's between 20 and 50 in the world. Don't see him ever winning a big tournament. He can maybe challenge some players, take them to 5, win the odd match here and there, but he's not winning a tournament of this stature anyway. Could win Geneva maybe, but not Roland Garros. And I can see him potentially beating a Struff, maybe battling for a Khachanov again, and then from there, I think he'll probably lose to whoever he plays.
Yeah, sad.
I don't think he can then beat a Ruud, say, for example.
Been 4th round before at Roland Garros.
Ruud cleans him up.
I think Ruud probably cleans a lot of people up in this quarter as well. Ben Shelton, still, jury's a little bit out, still on the clay. Tsitsipas we haven't even really mentioned.
No, but he's playing Echeverry, and that is a horrible matchup for him on the clay. I think Echeverry could knock him out.
Echeverry is a very good player. I mean, I think he's having a good week as well. Somebody's in good form as well. So, yeah not good for Tsitsipas, but another
he beat Lehechka Echeverry today, 7-5, 6-3.
Yeah, comfortable as well. So Lehechka's so up and down as well. It's another like Fekina style player at the minute. Let's look. Obviously, we've got the Zverev on Sinner's side, so that means only one thing. Taylor Fritz is on Alcaraz's side. Here he is, and his quarter. And these are the seeds in his one. We've got Holger Rune. We've got Thomas Mahatch. We've got Mikkelsen, Sebastian Korda, Nakashima, Musetti, and TFO.
Yeah, this is the weakest quarter. The weakest quarter for me. TFO looked terrible, quite frankly. Musetti's phenomenal. I'm not going to say anything dismissive about him. He's a fantastic clay quarter, and he'll be rubbing his hands together. I think he's the best player potentially in form right now on the clay in this whole quarter.
Yep.
Rune, we know, has potential to really turn it on, and we could see a great matchup between him and a Musetti. I don't see Fritz doing really well. I don't see Korda doing anything. I think Nakashima looks like a fish out of water on the clay courts from watching him the other day.
Yeah.
Watched him, he was 5-2 up at one point, then ended up losing the set 7-5. Battled through that tie break in the second, and the third capitulated. I watched quite a bit of it. I mean, he was just up and down, to say the least, against Darderi. So Nakashima, I think just looking at the seeds, it's the level's not as high as the other quarters. So Rune, Fritz has the potential, but I would like Rune a little bit more. And then if you go to the top, who was it again? Remind me.
Got Quarter.
Musetti. Sorry, Musetti. And then Musetti is my number one player in this quarter, and he's going to be so happy with this. The way he's playing this year, the seeds he's facing, even some of the unseeded, I think are beatable players. I mean, you've got a Buster in there, doesn't scream anything too crazy. You've got players like a Navone, who I think is very good on the clay courts, a Baez, who's a fantastic clay court player, and stuff like that. But on the whole, I'm really confident in Musetti.
Potential banana
what's he going to do?
Do you think they're banana skins here potentially with Altmaier? We've seen him take out Jannik Sinner at Roland Garros before. Taylor Fritz is not in very good form either. Could we see an early exit for Taylor Fritz at Roland Garros? Wouldn't be outside of possibility. And Bautista Agut's had a little bit of a resurgence as well. Holger Rune, that's not like a really easy player to play against. Bautista Agut is a bit of a grinding style, and if you're not on your best tennis that day, he could end up in a 5-set, like getting tired in this type of match.
Yeah, there was a stat for Agut. I don't know if I can find it, but it was one of his first top 20 wins in a long, long time.
Oh, really?
I don't know if I can find it now. But yeah, he was. He's not been beating top players for a long time. He's really struggled to do it. So fair play to him.
Yeah, he beat Arnaldi in Rome. He's beaten Munar in Madrid, and he's beaten TFO and Giron in Hamburg. But then he did just get bageled by Caboli in Hamburg as well. So yeah, I don't think he's quite back to his best, but at least he's getting some wins under his belt, and maybe
it was 29 losses in a row against top 20 players, and he broke it by beating Francis TFO 6-2, 6-3.
Insane. So yeah, I would agree with you that this section for me is the weakest for sure this quarter. I would say that it's very similar to the women's draw. Looks top heavy again. I'm not sure what they need to shuffle the pack again and then redo it. I'm not sure what's going on with the draws. But who do you reckon is going to be most happy if you had to say out the big players? Let's say the big six, because I think we've got to include Djokovic and Draper in there now.
Who is in the big six?
So it's Jannik Sinner, the number one.
Is Musetti not in there?
I pop them up on the screen for you. So we've got these.
I think the happiest player out of everyone is Lorenzo Musetti.
Yeah, quite possibly. It's really good.
That's my pick. I think he's the happiest player out of everyone. You could then make a case for Carlos Alcaraz.
Yeah, I think Alcaraz would be very happy with his draw.
Yeah. Let's get the odds anyway.
Yeah, let's have a quick look at the odds. Alcaraz, the favourite, he is at 2s. Jannik Sinner at 3s. So that's dropped from earlier on, I believe. I think you said it was about 3.5, wasn't it? Or something like that earlier?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So Djokovic is the third favourite with 12s. Then we've got Zverev with 17s, and then Musetti in at 5th with 23s. So there you go. If you want a little punt on Lorenzo Musetti, 23 times your stake.
Yeah, obviously the bookies are hedging on Alcaraz or Sinner to win. Most people think it's between them two. Let us know in the comment section. Do you think it is between Carlos or Jannik Sinner? Or could we see a surprise? You've got Djokovic as the third favourite, but really good value in that. And aside from that, but they're not really fancying anyone else. I think there's great value on a Jack Draper because he's a fantastic player. Same with Lorenzo Musetti. Aside from that, I wouldn't really be tempted with many others. Maybe, yeah, I think that's where I'll draw the line. If you're really feeling brave, maybe a Mensik or a Cerundolo, but they're not winning the tournament, in my opinion. I think it's going to be just one of them guys, one of the two at the top, or maybe a Draper.
Fonseca, 100 to 1.
Well, he's got a tough first round, so he needs
Yeah,
to get
I know.
through that first.
That's it. Right, let's have a quick look at the route to the final for Jannik Sinner. We'll go through just some of the big players. So Sinner, round 1, Rinderknecht. It would be round 2, Gasquet or Atman. Round 3 of Fokina or Lehechka. Round 4 of Fies, Rublev or Jarry. Quarterfinal of Draper, Dimonor, Menzik or Hurkacz. Semi-final of potentially Zverev or Djokovic. I'd say maybe Cerundolo or Dimitrov. It's got her as well. And then the final of Alcaraz. I'm not going to put Fritz in there, I don't think. I don't think he'll make the final. Musetti or Rude. So let's have a look and see what Alcaraz's one looks like. Round 1, Nishikori. Round 2, Marazan or Nardi. Round 3, Impechi Pericol or Bergs. Already seems better for me. Round 4, Shelton, Tsitsipas or Echeverri. So it gets a little bit tougher. Quarterfinal of Rude, Paul. Yeah.
Everyone.
Yeah, I'm not going to say all of them. Semi-finals of Fritz, Musetti, Rune or TFO. I wouldn't put TFO in there. Sorry. Or the final of Sinner, Zverev, Djokovic or Draper.
I think that is valid. The final, it could be one of them four. I'll be shocked if it's not, to be fair.
If Draper can make the final of Roland Garros, I'll be so happy. I mean, but then it would have to be at the expense of Djokovic as well. So it's just going to, but either of them make the final, I'll be happy. And this is Djokovic's, just to finish up on, as he's the birthday boy. McDonald in round 1, Moutet in round 2, Chapeau in round 3, Medvedev round 4, Zverev quarterfinal, Sinner semi-final, and then Alcaraz final. Last 3.
Every time I see McDonald in an early round at Grand Slam, I just think of when he beat Nadal not too long ago. One of the last slams. Was it the last slam Nadal played?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
Feels like it anyway. And sad. That's what McDonald's always going to be remembered by now for me. Djokovic, though, he'll be all right early rounds, but it's going to get tough. Quarterfinals is going to be super tough for Novak Djokovic. And he's going to have to play 3 massive matches in a row to be able to do it. If anyone can do it, he can, because he's done that many, many times before. But let's wrap it up there. Thanks, everyone, for watching. Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. Who do you think has the best draw? Who do you think is going to win from this position? And, ask us some questions. We're more than happy to have a read and answer them too. And we'll speak about anything you send us in on our next episode. Throughout the championship, we'll be doing podcasts daily, so stay tuned for that. Make sure to hit the bell if you want to be alerted when we go. And we're not live so much anymore, but you'll get alerted when the videos are posted.
That's it. And make sure to follow us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Leave us a nice 5-star review if you can as well. Helps with the algorithms. And we'll see you on the draw preview. We'll be going through round by round, giving our predictions on who we think will win Roland Garros.
Yep. And Ben's not going to pick Djokovic.
Have a good night.